Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Can I Make It, a series where I recreate inventions from the past and relive human history. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at paper, and I'm going to be making paper from only the things I can find in this forest behind me. But what actually counts as paper? I think a flexible material that we can write on will count as paper. Let's get started. I started my paper making by grabbing a whole bunch of bark strips. I've gotten pretty good at gathering these things without hurting the trees, and it didn't take a long time to get a lot of them. I soaked them in the creek for a while to get them really soft for the next step. I laid out the strips in lines and started weaving perpendicular strips through those. I'd end up with a pretty tight weave and used some sticks to strengthen the edges. Traditional paper is usually made by mashing a bunch of wood into a pulp, and then the pulp is scooped out from a tub with mesh strainers to dry under pressure. The woven sheet was going to be my mesh, as it could keep things in while letting the water drain out. I dug a hole with a flat bottom and brought some water over with my clay bowl to fill it up. I soaked the extra bark I had remaining while I started peeling off the outer layer. I really wanted just the inside sapwood. I started to grind away at the bark, but quickly realized I would need to keep the pulp separate from the bigger bark strands. I dug a second hole and was ready to go. After a while, I grabbed a stick to grind the bark against, because it made the pulp making process a whole lot easier. I eventually had a small bowl of pulp, and since it took forever to make just a small bowl of it, I didn't want to waste all my time making more pulp for a bigger paper and risk not getting the video out in time. So I figured a small piece of paper would work just as well. The next step after grinding the small pieces I had was to further lay it out on a flat surface under a lot of pressure. I emptied out one of the holes I had dug using my combination of a bowl and filling it with extra dirt. I made sure that the bottom had a flat surface to lay the wood pulp on before I set it down. Oh boy, I realized I was going to have a very tiny piece of paper. I was also a little bummed about the fact that the wood pulp ended up being similar in color to the mud, but I'd figured the cedar bark wouldn't be the white color I'd hoped for anyways. I'd covered it up with some heavy rocks and mud and let it sit for many hours. Coming back a while later, I was really hoping my paper hadn't disintegrated in the time it had sat there. But, as I slowly uncovered the mud, it was pretty clear that my wood pulp had, in fact, disintegrated. It was back to the drawing board with this one. Or wait, was it? I still had the mesh that I'd created to strain the water from the wood pulp. Would it fit the criteria? I rushed over to it, hoping that it would work. I tested some charcoal and then a gel pen, but to no avail. I brought out the Sharpie, my Deus Ex Machina, and it worked. Well guys, we made the paper. And now we have to check, does it meet the criteria? I was able to write on it with the Sharpie. Not with the charcoal or the normal gel pen, but you know what, that's okay. I think as long as we can write on it, we're good. Now for the flexibility test. Is it flexible enough to bend in half without breaking? It actually is. Guys, we were able to bend this in half this way, in half this way. What about in half this way? Yeah, and it doesn't break. Oh, we're all set, guys. We have paper, in my opinion. Now, if you don't think this counts as real paper, I mean, this is how they made papyrus, just thinner and smaller, but pretty much the same. This is how the ancient Egyptians made papyrus plant. So I think we're all set, guys, with this. So yes, guys, this episode was a success, but you know, if we're thinking about the fact that all my odd number episodes have been successes and my even numbers have been fails, I'm not sure what I can say about next episode. Either way, if you guys liked the episode, feel free to leave a like down. It really helps. And if you really like the video, consider subscribing so you can see more. With that, guys, bye-bye. Outro time. I mean, does that count as paper? I think it does. I could write on it in Sharpie. I think so, yeah. This counts as paper. What am I going to do in the next episode? I want to make fire again, but I'm not sure. I don't want to do that on an even numbered episode now. Not anymore, now that I know how that works. I might try to get fire, but not make it the theme of the episode. Just like, hey guys, quick side note, we got fire. That might be what I'll do. We'll see. Alright. Bye-bye.